Subscribe, follow, like, share. Last Bell Boxing. These guys give you all the exclusives, and next time I get my fight date, it's going to be exclusive on here as well. So make sure you give them all a follow.
Hello and welcome to Last Bell Boxing. I thought it was only right. You had the amateurs on live last night. Tonight is time for the professionals to have their view. So you've got me and Mick. Good evening, Mick.
Good evening, buddy. Thanks for the warm welcome.
No worries. So tonight we're going to cover Canelo Crawford and give our spin on it. We're going to talk about Eubank Jr. and Ben, seen as oppressors on Wednesday. And then we're going to talk about Ricky Hatton, which is only fitting that we see the show out with a bit about Ricky. So let's jump into the first topic then. So Saturday night, Sunday morning, depending on your time zone, Netflix broke the back into boxing. Canelo versus Crawford, I think it lived up to expectation, Mick. But give us your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, without doubt, the fight itself lived up to expectation. I mean, I was backing Crawford from the day it was announced, to be honest with you. The card left a lot to be desired. It was built heavily on the fact of it's Canelo against Crawford. But I said in the preview show last Thursday, I think I want to say Crawford masterclass. And that's exactly what we're seeing. I struggled to give more than 3 rounds to Canelo. To be fair, my scorecard was 117, 111 on the night. I've rewatched and I still don't see any more than that. Crawford just seemed to be too good in every department for me. Footwork, speed, shot selection. He did the thing that we all didn't think he could do, which was stood toe-to-toe with the supposed bigger, stronger man. And in the clinch, he looked equally as strong as Canelo.
He finished the exchanges. He got the better of the exchanges, which shocked me as well. I don't mind admitting that I went for Canelo round 11. I thought he'd get to him eventually, but he didn't even look like putting a dent in Crawford, did he? Let's be honest.
No. Well, we got to round 6 and Crawford started with the tongue out, smiling at Canelo. And that's when he started to really exchange as well. So it just looked like once he'd sort of got a grasp of how Canelo was going to fight and his movement and things, that was it. Like I say, Canelo for me at best he won 3 rounds. There was some rounds that were contentious, but I thought they were contentious because Canelo did better, but he still didn't do enough to win the rounds.
No.
And I think that's the you had 9-3 as well. So, so there you go. I mean, for someone to move up from essentially 147, yes, he'd won the 154 title against Madrimov, but that was his first foray above 147. He's essentially come up from welterweight to come up to super middle and do that to a long-standing champion and an elite level fighter. That it's just phenomenal. And the one thing I'm sick and tired of hearing, to be honest, is this whole Canelo's washed. Bearing in mind, after that Bivol fight, Canelo went on a long run. Yes, he wasn't stopping fighters, but he was still defending his title, adding the undisputed status again. This was a motivated Canelo, much like remember when Klitschko fought AJ? He had the massive blip against Fury, but then he came back completely motivated fighter, and to be honest, nearly won. That was Canelo last night. You could tell in the build-up he was massively motivated for the fight.
I think Crawford drops down to middleweight. Is my gut feeling. I mean, people are talking about him retiring. He ain't going to retire when he's at the height of his fame and earning potential. And who out there is going to give him a fight?
Well, Bomac was caught outside the arena, wasn't he? And he was asked the question. He said, "Yeah, he's not retiring." Like you say, he has an awful lot going on with charities in his hometown and things like that. He's at the height of his earning potential. For me, I think we see.
I just hope he don't go to 175 because I think that's a bit like I said with Canelo. It's a step too far.
Yeah, he's not big enough for that. At some point, the size will take over. I think 175 would be that point. There's nobody who's really at 175 who's similar size. He was quite lucky in the sense of there's Canelo there at 168. I mean, you wouldn't want to see him against the likes of a David Benavidez. Do you know what I mean? The size comparison would just, it's not a good optic, is it?
Or even Bivol.
Yeah. It's just a different ball game up there. So for me, I would like to see him let go of the titles at 168 and then move back down to 160. Someone like a Yanni Beck would be a good fight. And then that also opens up the opportunity for Canelo to go back and fight for vacant titles, doesn't it? Because let's be honest, I don't want to see an all-time great like Canelo suddenly go out on a loss like that.
No,
if I'm honest.
It's a poor division, that 168, isn't it? It's a poor division. So who would you throw him in with?
Yeah.
It's a poor division.
I can't even think who you'd put him in with. I think you'd probably see someone like a Caleb Plant 2, something like that, because he's been. Do you know what I mean? It's not sexy, but it's a functional fight.
You can't even drag Bivol down to 168. You're still not certain to beat him at 168, in my view.
Exactly. The two people that he'd stay away from at 168 if they were to drop down would be Bivol and Benavidez. For me, he's going to look to, if that was to happen and the titles become disbanded, for me it'll be someone, probably a rematch. For me, that's what I think he'll go for. Get a win.
What about Eubank Jr. in London or something? He's talked about wanting to fight in the UK, hasn't he?
Eubank Jr. doesn't take that fight. He doesn't take that fight, does he?
That tells you how
he talks a good game.
That tells you how much we're scraping the barrel, mate, that I'm scratching my head and throwing names like Eubank Jr. in the mix.
Well, it's like was mentioned last week. It just shows the state of the division when Crawford had the chance to step up 2 to 3 weight divisions to fight for the undisputed title. That just says it all, doesn't it? Yeah. Really, there shouldn't have been an opportunity for that to happen. Not coming up from welterweight.
Canelo licks his wounds for a good year now, don't he? He'll lick his wounds for a year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but if he did retire, he's going down as one of the greatest Mexican fighters of all time. Yeah. He's going into the Hall of Fame, regardless of what happens. He's had an amazing career. Quite telling some of the things he said after the fight, especially about Crawford. I mean, he was asked the question, and he turned around and said, didn't he, that the headline was, he's better than Mayweather. Bearing in mind, this is a seasoned Canelo at a weight where he's far more comfortable compared to when he fought Mayweather, where he was a lot more naive. He was weight drained at 154. Yeah, so for him to say at this point...
There's been a bit of needle between them two, though, hasn't there?
There's for years. There's always been for years, hasn't there? But either way, I don't think you can take away what Crawford did. I mean, I'm hearing people talk about Henry Armstrong and saying he was a undisputed champion in 3 weights all at the same time. That's fair enough, and that is true. But go back and look. That was when there was 1 title in a division. Yeah. So Armstrong had to win 3 fights to become undisputed in 3 weight classes. Crawford has had to do it in 6 fights.
All I'll say is there's a lot of boxing snobbery around, isn't there, guys? It's very difficult to start comparing eras, if I'm honest.
You just can't do it. In any sport, it's difficult to compare eras because it's a completely different sport now compared to what it was 40, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
You'll see the same look at basketball. You'll see Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Who's the best? Different eras. You can't compare them.
Can't you? You can go through all the sports, you know. I think
it's always the same.
I think we just enjoy Crawford for what he is, right? Which is our era's best fighter. Let's be honest. But he's up there anyway.
Well, for me, I said it on X on Sunday morning. When you've got the likes of Inoue and Usyk doing what they're doing, Crawford's just put himself at the head of the table.
Yeah. So if we sat here in 12 months' time, then Mick, what do you think? What do you think Bivol and Canelo? Not Bivol. What do you think Crawford and Canelo are up to? Do you think we've had the fight announced? Do you think they've been out? Where do you think they'll be in 12 months' time? Because Crawford's going to take a bit of time now, isn't he? Why wouldn't they? You know?
Oh, definitely. But the thing is, really, on both sides, none of them have got a lot of time, have they? Because Crawford, with actual age, he's what, 38? So he's not got long left at these lower weights anyway. And then Canelo, in boxing terms, is old. I mean, 60 plus fights. Yeah, he's only 33, I think, 32, 33. But you don't see many fighters with 60 plus fights this day and age, do you?
I'll take them both on a world tour. That's what I would do.
Yeah, why not? For me, I want to see Crawford at 160, add the sixth weight class, and then Canelo become a champion again before hanging it up. But yeah, it would be great to see the likes of Canelo on these shows. Obviously, we've had it with Crawford in his early days when he beat Ricky Burns. But still, it would be great to have him back at this stage of his career. But yeah, for me, not a bad shout at all. Get them around the world, a few different countries, showcase them, let them earn silly money, and then see you later.
Okay, so move on to the next topic then. So I thought I'd throw this one in because obviously I don't know whether it's in the public domain yet, but there's going to be a press conference on Wednesday. I won't say where it is. I'm not sure it has been announced where it is. So I'm not playing Billy Big, you know what, but I won't put it out there. No. So I thought I'd bring this up for a first look at it, Mick. I'm sure we'll do more in-depth analysis. But I'm surprised that a lot of people are backing Conor Benn for this second fight. A lot of people in the media have thrown weight behind him. Now, we all know the DAZN loving that goes off. I'll call it DAZN loving. I'm conscious that, some meetings I've got coming up. But yeah, I'm conscious there's a bit of DAZN loving around this one. So I'm not sure the landscape's changed much since the first fight. So give us your thoughts. Why is Ben becoming a favourite all of a sudden in this fight, Mick?
Bear in mind, I picked on this channel, I picked Eubank to win the first fight. It played out as I thought it would. However, I think what that took out of Eubank, it took an awful lot out of him that night. And it's only because of that, because he's the older man, he's still fighting to make those weight classes, isn't he? That's the only thing that brings Conor Benn back into it. I mean, has it been announced what weight it'll be at again?
Not yet,
is it 160?
Everything's pointing towards 160.
See, that for me, that's the bigger battle for Eubank. Making weight, he's basically got to fight twice in a weekend, hasn't he? One to make weight and one to beat Conor Benn. I think it'll be incredibly close this time. I didn't think it was hugely close last time. I had Eubank Jr. winning by sort of 3-4 rounds, if I'm honest. But I think it'll be tighter this time. I still don't think Conor Benn will get over the line, though. But it wouldn't surprise me if we've seen a draw. It genuinely wouldn't surprise me. And I think win, lose, or draw, I think that would be the end of Eubank Jr., to be fair.
I don't see him fighting after that. Spin during this build-up. So obviously the first one was all about, is Eubank Senior going to turn up or isn't there? We all know now they've buried that rip, although I thought it's brilliant PR. And I'll be honest with you, I know certain people on the channel were saying they weren't going to watch this fight because of X, Y, and Z reasons. I suggested probably going to watch the second one. But when Eubank Senior walked out of that car and got into that lift, come on, mate, that was gold, wasn't it? That was absolute gold.
I don't care what anybody says. That's going to be as remembered as the fight, if not more. That shot where the lift opened and Adam Smith's on comms and he shouts, "He's here." That for me that was the money shot, wasn't it? People remember that just as much.
Nigel and Conor Benn looking into that TV screen.
Yeah,
you can't write it.
The lift opening, the Benns watching the TV, the walk out with the Eubanks where it was simply the best, and then it was the song for Sebastian, and then it was obviously Eubank Jr.'s song. It was epic the way they build it. And that's what the Eubanks are. They're showmen at heart, aren't they? Especially Senior. And that element of surprise is gone this time. Because I think genuinely that did knock Ben. You've seen that yourself when they're looking at the screen and the reaction of them both. It was telling. So yeah, you've got to discount that element now. But can Eubank Senior unsettle Benn in the build-up this time? It wouldn't surprise me.
Very interesting, because there'll be some surprises, won't there? That's what the Eubanks are all about. The Chris Eubank Jr. will come up with something. Yeah, I think it'll be a good fight again, but I just can't see this narrative why people are giving Conor Benn more chance this time than he did last time. He threw the kitchen sink at Eubank Jr. last time, still couldn't get him out of there. Can Eubank Jr. make that weight any more comfortably this time? Don't know. Sports science is a great thing these days. Can he boil down any safer? But one thing it will be is entertaining, right? Because one thing Eubank Jr. can do is sell fights, and the fact,
without doubt, it'll be an entertaining fight.
Eddie's not going to the presser on Wednesday is already a tick in the box for Eubank. So it'll be very, very interesting. So I'm going for a Eubank win on points again. I think he'll beat him on points, maybe a bit more wider this time. That's my prediction.
Oh, so you're going the complete opposite to me. I think Eubank points, or at best for Benn a draw.
The reason I'm saying that is because Eubank's had a look at him now. I know Ben's had a look at Eubank as well, but Eubank's had a good look at him now. And from the first fight, if any fighter was going to get the other one out there, Eubank Jr. was the closest to getting Ben out of there, right? I think this time, he might even get him out of there, if I'm honest.
The thing is, it can work both ways, Conor. And so if we play devil's advocate, you look at Conor Benn at parts of that fight, it was clear he was just fighting on emotion, wasn't he? He wasn't trying to box, he was trying to fight. And that, when you've got somebody as cool and calm as Eubank Jr., it's very difficult to ruffle him in the sense of like the egg gate and things like that. You're not going to get under Eubank Jr.'s skin like he can get under Conor Benn's. So I think Conor Benn with a different mindset is a totally different animal in the second fight. I just don't see him.
I don't think he's got the capability to do that. I think he can only fight one way.
It's one of those things we can't answer till it happens, can we? We don't know till it happens.
Right? Nigel Benn could never just turn it off, could he? It was an emotional fight. That's what made him dangerous.
No.
So,
without doubt. I mean, the other thing is what's going to be interesting is the persona of Conor Benn in the build up to the fight, because bear in mind, obviously, he's played the villain all the way through. For the first time, we didn't have Eubank Jr. playing the villain, did we? So you obviously had the drug tests and all of this, and the lack of remorse that was being shown by Conor Benn. Since then, he's had the niceties where he's shown respect after the fight. He's had the things like the SAS TV show he's went on, where he came across really well. He's now obviously very humble when it comes to talking about the fight and talking about Eubank Jr. So it's a completely different persona when it comes to Conor Benn this time, isn't it?
Very intriguing fight. Okay, moving on to the last topic of the evening. I know you put a statement out via Brett last night, but this will give you the opportunity to do it live, do it on the channel in person. Sad news breaking yesterday regarding the death of Ricky Hatton. Obviously, like Andy said yesterday, that's by the boxing community. All sympathies go out to his friends and family. What a devastating loss to world boxing, because it was an icon worldwide. Devastating. Obviously, he leaves grandkids behind, sons behind, daughters behind. And he seemed in a really good place. You know, he had the exhibition fight planned for later in the year. So, yeah, no announcement yet on how he died. So I'm not going to surmise on that. I'd rather look back over the fantastic career he had. So, Mick, give us your thoughts. Obviously, you don't know what he's got till it's gone to some degree, right? What a great fighter he was. And I think his career will get better over the course of time. That's my honest opinion. So I'll leave for you to say a few words.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was gutting. Like I said, what I put out through Brett, and thanks to Brett for putting it out for me. This is a guy who he took us from the back streets of Manchester right to the bright lights of Las Vegas. We've never seen it, and I don't think we'll ever see it again. The likes of taking 20,000 to Vegas and taking over the place, like that Floyd Mayweather press conference. There's not been a fighter from these shores who have done it since, and we hadn't really seen it before him. A genuine guy who was an everyday guy, wasn't he? He'd be fighting on a Saturday, and then he's in the pub on a Sunday with the boys. I think we've seen over time his personality, the way that he seems to always have time for the fans. I mean, in this day and age, a lot of these fighters and these so-called celebrities they're untouchable. They're not within grasp of the common everyday person. Whereas Ricky Hatton was very much different, wasn't he? He was a man of the people. I mean, you look at social media now, and the algorithms are working overtime, and you're seeing all these things of past videos of Ricky. I mean, one came up on my reel yesterday, and it was just Ricky Hatton out for a run, and this sort of tells you what he's like. Out for a run, minding his own business, just decides to run at the chip shop, just to crack a joke. Gives the three ladies behind the counter a laugh, and then runs off. Didn't need to do it. Could have just carried on with his run. He was just a genuine guy, one of the people, wasn't he? Always up for a laugh. And considering the status within society that he had, you never hear anybody talking about bad experiences that they had with him, which is quite telling. Yeah, we've lost somebody who was a great boxer, but I think more so just a great man, wasn't he?
Story about Ricky, because I was due to go to an audience with in Northampton. Obviously, I live in Nottingham. Travelled all the way down there, and the event organizer, must stress this, the event organizer, not Ricky, cancelled the event the day before, didn't let nobody know. So I was a little bit, I won't swear, but I was a little bit miffed. So I sent an email to Ricky Hatton's manager just saying, look, I bought an hotel, travel. I know it's not Ricky's fault, but I'm just a bit gutted. A couple of days later, signed photo comes through the door. Ricky Hatton has signed me a Mayweather, him and Mayweather in a photo, apologising, put my name on it and signed it, all the best, Ricky Hatton. Obviously, I'd take pride of place now, but that just shows you again how many fighters would have took the time. Carl from Nottingham, who, just a regular kind of guy from Nottingham boxing fan, but he took the time to get that poster and post it out to me. That's the measure of the guy. And that's why you'll not hear anyone talk ill of him, right?
Exactly. Like you say, it's just you could tell he cared about the fans, and he wanted us to go on that journey with him, didn't he? And he took us to the highest highs, and we obviously had the Costa Zoo night, we had the Mayweather night.
Just on the Mayweather fight, this
unbelievable.
I've always said, I'm not saying he would have beat Mayweather, but Cortez did not let Ricky Hatton fight on the inside all night.
Yeah.
And even before the fight, you saw Billy Graham telling him, Ricky likes to work on the inside. Please don't penalise him for working on the inside. Every time he went to go to work on the inside, Cortez split him up. Again, not saying he'd have won, but what it would have been is a different fight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can never say he would have won because you don't know. But what you can say factually is Ricky Hatton was a great inside fighter, and he wasn't able to work on the inside that night. Cortez stopped it from happening all night long. Would he have ever succumbed to being stopped? I genuinely don't think he would have. I think he still would have lost the fight, but I think it would have probably went to a decision had he been able to get his work off, because it would have made Mayweather a lot more hesitant to really go on the attack and go on the front foot. So, but it's all ifs and buts. Like you say, in my eyes, he overachieved getting there.
I've just turned 46 a couple of days ago, so he would bang in my ear. I can remember getting up at daft o'clock, bleary-eyed on a Sunday morning to watch him fight Mayweather, to watch him fight Pacquiao. And he didn't only do Manchester Pride, did he? Let's have it right. He did all of his Pride. Not many fighters unite red and blue in Manchester. He managed to do it. He done a lot for the city by all accounts as well. So, yeah, what a awful loss, right? What an awful loss.
Well, it's like you say, his career united people, and then even in retirement, he was doing work to help people and raise awareness for mental health and things like that. He wasn't shy about telling everybody of the issues that he'd had and he went through.
He wanted people to learn from it, right? He wanted people to
and
learn
hopefully,
from his mistakes. And what a measure of the guy, right?
Exactly, and hopefully that rings true. But yeah, I think it's probably unquantifiable the millions of people that he's touched in some way.
I think that's a perfect place to end the show. So we all salute you, Ricky. Rest in peace, and what a great servant to the sport of boxing. Mick, thank you very much for your time, young man. We'll see you on future shows. This has been a special Last Bell Boxing, proudly sponsored by SC Travel Limited and Shaw's Building Services. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much.